Wicked for Good is alleged to potentially be using AI again in one of its promotional materials. You see, they recently published these posters to promote the film, and I guess at first glance they're not too egregious, but when you start to take a closer look, you start to get into like the background here that just looks a little bit janky and obviously blurred out, maybe because it looks so janky and was made using AI, allegedly. This Elphaba one is kind of a bit more outrageous only because you can tell that some of these munchkins, I guess, are pretty much just copied and pasted throughout the poster. There's one here, there's one here. This looks like another copy. And in general, like this background, which again is blurred out, oh, I wonder why. It has led me and some people online to suspect that these two posters were made with AI, or at least with the assistance of AI. I mean, obviously Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are like real people, and so their presence is probably taken from an actual photograph, I hope, but the rest of the poster, the background, just kind of seems to be AI generated. And this is not the first time they've been alleged to basically be using AI or some kind of AI assistance in making their promotional materials. This poster was released earlier this year, and to be honest, this poster seems a little bit less like AI to me. I feel like the actors probably did a photo shoot in these kinds of like, you know, power poses, but this background is pretty dog shit. Now, maybe that's just like weird looking design that they have in the movie and it's actually accurate to the movie, I don't know, but the background just looks a bit janky, and like they're obviously not in the real place. Like even if it's not AI, it's still clearly green screen and photoshopped. And so this poster I'm not as confident about. I guess it's more of just a janky poster, but this teaser that was released a couple of months ago definitely had people turning their heads. Now, I talked about this video in my previous video about AI slop just overtaking the internet, but this video to me really does seem like it's using some kind of an AI style. Now, again, I feel like these actors probably did these little power poses. Like, I don't think these clips and shots were necessarily AI generated, but what people had a problem with this promo and seemingly a lot of the promos that they've released for this movie is that it all seems to be kind of mimicking this AI look. You know the look that I'm talking about, just the look of content when it's kind of very generic and replicatable. Like, while this promo might not have been made with AI, it's definitely leaning into this AI aesthetic that is absolutely going to make it easier for production companies and major film studios to release AI slop promotional materials. They put stuff like this out on the social media platforms that we all use and we scroll past it, and we get used to this kind of off-looking vibe until we're just okay with production companies using AI to make entire trailers for their productions. I mean, guys, this film has been in production for years. They started filming in 2023. And not only that, their filming was interrupted by the actors' strike. A strike that was partly caused by the disruption caused by AI in the acting industry. Actors specifically stopped the filming of major productions like Wicked to protest use of AI in the industry, to try and implement some amount of protection for them when it comes to participating in these big Hollywood projects. And this is a movie with $150 million budget, by the way, and that's times two, right? Part 1 and 2 both got $150 million. And you're telling me with that amount of capital being put into a creative project, you can't find it somewhere in the budget to hire graphic designers, hire artists, make sure that you're paying people to create promos that don't look like some kind of dog shit AI thrown together crap. I mean, Wicked is one of the biggest musicals around the world, and this release of Wicked Part 1 and 2 is going to be probably one of the biggest musical movie events of all time, certainly in terms of the box office return and also the cultural impact. But you're telling me that kind of importance is not worth putting in the effort into the marketing materials, making sure the marketing materials don't look awful and cringe. I mean, posters for a movie are supposed to be iconic and something that you want to look back on in awe and go, wow, that's so cool. I mean, going back to watch a trailer for like a really fantastic film can make you feel so good. You get to relive the vibe of the movie through like a 2.5-minute clip. It can be a great way to retain the cultural impact that these movies can have. have. I mean, look, to be fair, they have this like iconic poster, which is good. It's good to have a really cool iconic poster that hopefully will stand the test of time. But then the rest of the posters are just clanker trash. My God, I mean, look, the people are blurred out, and this is such a, they don't even have faces. You can see in the blur, they barely have facial features. What are we doing, guys? Now, to be clear, I'm not alleging that any AI was used in the actual production of the movies. I mean, we don't actually know. There could have been AI used, but there is no current like allegations or proof that that is the case. And that's good, obviously. I mean, what the hell were the strikes for if not to prevent that kind of bullshit? But even if it is just being used for the promos, that's not okay. Like, we should want to foster in this creative industry some amount of like artistic integrity and not just ceding parts of the job to an AI software. Yes, maybe it costs a bit more to have like graphic designers on staff or whatever the hell, but you're spending $150 million on this movie, guys. Like, come on. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. I just wish promos would go back to being cool and badass. Like, there was this one Breaking Bad promo. It was a promo for the final season with an episode called Ozymandias, and they had Bryan Cranston read the poem over shots of Albuquerque. I'll show you a little bit of it.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies."
I mean, that is really cool. And I love going back and watching this trailer because, you know, he reads the poem, it gets across the vibe of the episode beautifully, and that's just a small little thing that's nice to go back and watch. And so, yeah, I just want nice little experiences like that when it comes to the movies and TV that people like to watch. My message to production companies is just to put more effort into making sure you're hiring graphic designers, artists, people who will actually make the art look beautiful, even if it's just for a promo. And my message to you, the average consumer, would be, whenever you see this stuff, call it out for the clanker trash that it is. We deserve better standards as consumers, and, you know, our art should reflect the artist that made it, not just some pencil pushers in suits that want to save money on marketing or whatever. But what do you think about these promos? Am I reading into it too much? Is the AI allegations like overhyped? Is it just a bunch of hooey? Or do you think they've really just phoned it in with the marketing on this movie? I'd love to know your opinion. Why don't you go ahead and leave a comment and like and subscribe if you want to. Thanks for getting to this point in the video. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time, and goodbye. Cheers.